Swamps. The cool, damp corners of the world where frogs hop and magic abounds. Join me and my foxy friend Millie as we set out to spend 100 days in a swamp-only world in Minecraft. Not only surviving, but thriving by building a house, fallen tree, and a mysterious trolley. Let's go. Another video, another day one. We're doing this in a swamp-only world, which is lucky because we have absolutely no shortage of wood, and kind of unlucky because I don't see any villagers around here. That's okay though, we can still grab our tools and a bed, so let's go grab some stone tools and then see if we can find any sheep. Alright, this is our stone tools and a furnace sorted, and here are some sheep for a bed and some food. Ideally I need another white sheep. Any... Oh, there we go. Let's get all of this stuff put down and our mutton cooked. And maybe let's make a couple chests. And once our mutton's cooked, we can get started on finding resources for all of our builds. My resource gathering journey took me underground where I upgraded my tools to iron and got some iron armor. While I was down there, I got a bunch of extra coal as well as diorite, azalea bushes, moss, calcite, and cobblestone. I also managed to find some diamonds in a mine shaft, and once I had enough diamonds for a pickaxe, I also got some obsidian. Then I headed topside for some wood. I harvested oak from the neighboring trees, and I ran into a wandering trader who I was able to swap with for some dark oak and spruce saplings. Then I gathered everything I needed to make some bricks and terracotta before heading back to get set up. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do while I brainstorm how exactly I want my house to look is I'm going to get a farm going because this food is not going to last forever. It's always a good idea to get a farm going first for the obvious reasons, but also it is so annoying when you have to pause and start looking for food when you're just like in the thick of it. So obviously we're going to do the farm first. So now the outline's done, I'm just going to go ahead and add in a bunch of these just for a little bit of extra detail, and also add in some mud just to keep that swampy feel. Although it is kind of lowering the amount of food that we can get, but it doesn't matter. It's gonna look cute, and that's what matters more. Also, I'm not sure if it's super noticeable, but you may be thinking, you sound a little different today, and it's just that I've been doing so much karaoke recently, I keep losing my voice. Just kidding. I've been a little bit sick for the past week or so if I sound a little bit funky, that's why. I wish it was because of karaoke though. That would have been a lot more fun. Anyways, let's finish tilling this land, and then we can get to planting, I guess. And you know what? This mud wasn't actually intended to be a pathway, but it does kind of work out that way, so props to me, I guess, for accidentally creating a pathway. Oh no, I'm out of seeds. What am I gonna do? Oh, I wonder what this does. Oh, just makes everything grow. Wonderful. This is literally my favorite thing that I have. It literally saves me in so many situations. See, now that we've used our watering can to grow all of this wheat super fast, we can break it all down. We get a little bit of wheat so we can make some more food already, and we get a bunch of seeds to just fill in this area. All right, that is our farm complete. I added in some carrots and some wild cabbage just for decoration. We are not going to use those at all. But yeah, super cute. Sun is going down. Let's head to bed. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is get a frame and foundation set up, but I have this little sketch here so you guys can see what I'm thinking of doing. All right, let's get this foundation down. So I'm gonna do a pretty strange shape for this one, just because it's kind of like in a swamp and I just want it to look less uniform. I also think I'm going to make the foundation look like it's sort of floating off the ground, or not floating, but on supports, like how the witches' huts are. All right, that's the funky outline done. Let's dig out some of this dirt so that we can start filling in the floor. So this little section here is going to be like an outdoor, what is it called? Like a porch? Is that what it's called? Like a wraparound porch? I'm not entirely sure. A little area outside of the house. I think it is called a porch. And then I did this little area here slightly raised because I thought it would be really cute to have like a little reading area inside the house. Not sure entirely if it's gonna work out how I'm imagining it to, but we're gonna go with it anyway and just hope that it does. All right, let's get this floor filled in. Okay, floor is all done, and I'd say we have just enough time to do the frame. Okay, I feel like that's pretty good for today, but the scary stuff is already spawning, so we better head to bed and quick. All right, I'm pretty sure we can get all of the walls and maybe the roof done today, or at least I hope we can. It's gonna be a little bit longer because I need to take out a couple of these pieces and replace them with this kind of brick, but I think what I'm gonna do first is fill it all in with the normal brick and then go back in and add the details afterwards. Okay, I feel like that's probably enough holes made for our different type of bricks, and hopefully this looks good and also noticeable enough for it to have been worth it. All right, nice. I'd say that was worth it. Okay, easy peasy. We have plenty of time to get this roof finished. The only thing here is that it's not going to be a normal shaped roof, so it's either going to be way easier than usual or a little bit harder because I have to use my brain a little bit to make the randomness look good, if that makes sense. Oh, I absolutely forgot I had got this variation of moss block to make it look a little bit more interesting. Okay, that's the technically hard part out the way. I think that roof looks great, and now we just need to fill in the second half of the roof, which should be way more straightforward. Okay, just before that sun goes down, let's add in some of these little shrubs and then also some of these azaleas. I feel like when I get to go through and add character to all of the houses, it's just the most fun part of any build because suddenly it's got all these little details that all work together to tell a story and bring the whole house together, because otherwise it's just a big flat wall with a little pointy roof. So to make sure it's not just a bunch of big white walls even further, let's add some extra wooden details to the outside of this house. I think it might actually be better if we change these to slabs, and then coming out from these slabs we can do like a little triangle moment. I can't think what this kind of detailing is called right now, so triangle moment is what we're gonna call it. Okay, that's actually starting to look very cute. I do feel like there's a little bit too much green going on up here, so I'm gonna add in some of these terracotta blocks and try and make it look like there's mushrooms growing out of the top of this thing. Okay, I think it just needs a couple more details outside here, and obviously a door. Oh, that is not correct. And now all that's left to do really is add in the windows. And now I'm just getting really excited because once the windows are done, we can go to bed and then we can get to work on the interiors, which, as most of you probably know, is my favorite part of every build. Oh my goodness, how cute does that look with the little sunset behind it? All right, now it's time for the interiors where everything comes together and it finally looks like somebody lives here. So I'm gonna make this area here a living area, then I think we should have enough space here and here to do a little dining kitchen situation. We'll have our reading nook here, and then upstairs, obviously, a nice bedroom. So let's get to work on the living room first, and then we'll work our way backwards from there. Okay, I feel like this could look better if we use some of these trims just to make it look a little bit less boxy. And then let's turn all of these to something other than an empty cupboard. I feel like that looks okay. And then along all of the sides, let's do some of these pillar trims, just so it looks like it blends into the wall a little bit better. And then let's change these to something different. Okay, that's looking okay, but this area here is not. So I'm wondering if we make our way up here and then let's try something like this. Very nice. I feel like that looks a lot better. Let's put in a couple of these drawers here. And I feel like we can maybe get away with doing a fireplace here. Maybe? Let's just give it a go and see. So let's put down a couple campfires and then add this around here. I feel like that looks okay. And then maybe if we put painting in the middle here. Yeah, okay, love that. So I was thinking I want to add some curtains to these windows, but it looks kind of weird if it's just one side of a window. So even though there's these little stair details sort of in the way of the window, let's just add more windows. And I feel like I said window like 50 times right then. Okay, now let's make this like that maybe. So that way we can still see that there is a window there, but we still have the detail of the curtains. Okay, yeah, I like that. Then finally, let's add a couple of lamps and of course a couch. Does that look good? Okay, yeah, I think that looks fine. And then in the middle here, a little footstool type table thing. All right, I think for now that is our living room done. So now let's do our kitchen and diner. All right, so let's start by putting down these blocks to create a rug. Millie, please don't get stuck under the house. And then let's place down our little table. Then over here, I think we're gonna have to go for a kitchen like this with a little island situation. Yeah, I feel like that's a good layout. So then let's add in a couple of these, and then let's do our sink here and our stove here. All right, nice. I think this looks great, but I feel like having a second fireplace here would look really good for the dining room. So I'm gonna maybe get rid of these windows and just see what we can do in this space. So I think we're gonna have to put these here, or can we get away with putting it in this block? Oh, I think we can get away with that, so that's good. We don't have to cover up so much on the outside. Let's place our campfire, a couple of these, and then on the outside here we just need to cover up that, I feel like, and I don't feel like it looks too out of place being there, so let's get back inside before anything scary grabs us and see how we're looking. Okay, yeah, like that a lot more. Do I need to move? Okay, I think I need to move this over one block and then move the island over one block. So let's do that. There we go. I feel like that looks a lot more well spaced. So now let's get to work on this little area here. Let's fill in this little gap with these and then just pretty much cover the wall in bookshelves. Let's do a couple cabinets. Excuse me, Millie. Thank you. And then a little bench. Great, cute. I feel like I need to add some extra details up here though. So let's just add in a couple of these trusty pillar trims, and I feel like that covers that up nicely. I feel like I'm gonna also put those on here just to make it look like that's being held up properly. And then do we need one here? I feel like that looks good and it makes sense. So I think all I need to do down here now is add some extra little details and add some lighting. It looks like the sun is just about to come up. So are you ready for the full house tour? Oh, sorry, Millie, come in. Thank you. Oh, we'll stay out. Anyways, we have this little entryway area, which I think is super cute. We've got a little robe here, which is meant to be like a coat. And then through here, we've got this little area, and I did a little donkey plush because we're in a swamp and I was thinking of Shrek. So here is our finished dining kitchen. Here is our finished dining kitchen living area. Love what I've done here with the hanging pots and the lanterns. And then we have our little reading area. And then upstairs, we have our bedroom with a little bit of storage and a cute little area to read our books and also study. And also check ourselves out in the mirror, I guess. Overall, very happy with these interiors. Went a little bit crazy with the hanging pots. Oh, actually, I want to add in a bunch of paintings. I feel like that would really bring it all together, especially on this bit where it's a little bit bare. Oh, that's not really what I want. All right, there we go. It is a minor detail, but I feel like it just adds a lot more to the build. Anyways, the sun has come up, so I better get a move on with our next steps. Okay, so we have a house now, but two things I want to knock out of the way before I do anything else are a well and a nether portal, because I have some ideas for stuff pertaining to soul lanterns. So let's get this nether portal finished. So I'm just going to cover up as much of the portal as I can with these oak logs, and then we can add some extra details that are going to make it look a lot cuter than just another portal surrounded by oak logs. All right, well that was easy enough. Let's get to work on the well before it gets too dark. Let's start by marking out a small circle, and then let's make it a couple blocks higher. Do I want it 3 high, or should we stick with 2? Maybe we should stick with 2. And then I think we can go ahead and add a couple of these trapdoors and these slabs on top. Let's just mix it up a little, place them kind of randomly. Now let's add our chains and then a little flower pot to kind of act like a bucket. And now we just need to get some water to actually fill this well up. And then after this, we are pretty much done, ready to head to bed and then head out and get some more materials. Kind of hard to see at night, but how cute is that? Anyways, as I said, let's head to bed and then we can head out for more materials. Hi, sorry, me again. I may have lied to you because I have a vague plan for the other buildings that I want to do, so I'm doing the outlines for them so that I don't forget before I go and get more stuff. I was rewatching one of my old videos and I was like, oh my god, you literally had an idea there and you didn't do it. So we are not gonna let that happen again this time. Hopefully once this is done, it'll look a little something like this. Hopefully you see the vision, and now it is time to get some more materials. I kept cutting wood and replanting the saplings I got from a wandering trader to top off my spruce and dark oak. Then I gathered some oak wood and leaves from the surrounding area. Once that was done, I topped off my coal and iron before heading back. Alright, so since we already have our little outline for the storage area, I'm just gonna go right in and add the frame and, to be honest, the walls as well. All right, now those are done. Let's add in some stairs to join it all together. I actually haven't considered how I'm going to join up these corner parts. So I'm just going to pretend that that's not an issue right now and just fill in all of these little gaps. And then I'm going to have to use my brain a little bit. So I think if we add in a couple blocks here and go for this kind of thing. Okay, yeah, I think that works and looks good. So let's do that on all the other ones. And then we can fill in the walls. I don't think I'm going to fill in the walls completely. I think I'm actually going to use fences to fill in the walls, but we'll see. It's not the biggest space ever, so I feel like filling in the walls with fences is a nice way to sort of combat that, kind of. Ooh. Oh, okay. Yeah. What I'm going to have to do is also place blocks right here and then join that up like that. And then I guess, do I also need to join to these? Maybe. Actually, I think that doesn't look great. So let's take away these and also these and replace them with some spruce logs. Hopefully this looks a little bit better. Okay, yeah, I definitely prefer that, but I think I'm actually going to go ahead and strip all of these spruce logs just so that it sort of blends in with the planks a little bit more. All right, that's much better. Let's get the rest of these walls filled in with our fences and we might have a little bit of time to get started on the roof. I think the roof is going to be a little bit tricky because it is a circular room, but once I get into the flow of things, it should be okay. I'm going to be honest, I'm barely into this roof and I am already confused. So I'm just going to finish off doing this little bit here and then I'm going to head to bed and we will tackle this tomorrow. All right, good morning. It is roof time. I think the way that we're going to be able to tackle this is to do all of these parts first and then we just have to fill in all of the dark oak with the spruce. I think I'm going to leave the diagonal ones just for now and then let's just do the easy ones and then go from there. All right, that was pretty easy. Now I just have to fill in all of the gaps, which should also be pretty easy. Does that work? I feel like it's a little bit wonky, but it's gonna have to do. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's symmetrical. Now I just need to do the exact same thing on the other sides and that will be our roof done. Now that's the roof done. Let's get in here and give it a much nicer floor than this. Much better. And once again, it's time for a spot of exterior decorating right after I add in a bunch of these lanterns. I've made the ceiling entirely barrels. I do not think we're going to need this much storage, but it looks cool and also doubles up as storage. So cute and functional. Anyways, time for exterior details, which for this one pretty much just means we're going to hop up onto the roof and add in a bunch of leaves because we don't really need to do much else to this one. All right, that was easy enough. And I feel like that fits the swamp vibe very nicely. So let's get in here and add some interiors. So obviously this is just a storage area, but I still want it to look cute. So I'm just going to add in a bunch of these cabinets in this gap here. And then in these gaps, I'm going to add in some of these, what are they called? Shelves. That's what they're called. Unfortunately, I am blocking up the fence walls that I decided would make it feel nice and open in here, but I feel like the compromise is worth it. All right, I've made the shelves something other than empty shelves and added a nice little clock in the middle to have a sort of focal point. But I'm thinking we can get away with taking out some of these so that we still have a little bit of a window situation going on. Then either side of these, we're going to do the classic chest just to make sure that we have some decent double storage. And I think I'll actually break these back down and then sort of have them more flush to the wall just so we got a little bit more space in here. Then I think on this corner bit, we'll go ahead and do more chests. Millie, please move out the way. Okay, and then I feel like that's probably enough storage, especially with all of these barrels above us. But I still think we're looking a little bit bare in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do a crafting table either side because we're going to need those anyway. And then we'll add in a couple flower pots and some of these palisades to sort of break up the area a little bit. I'm also thinking we take out some of these stairs here and then replace them with our corner trims just because they look a little bit more fancy than stairs. I don't know if that's really worth changing, but I'm going to do the same on this side but leave the middle as stairs. Oh, and I'm thinking between these we can add more of these, and just for some extra detail add some of these planks to the side of each of the chests for absolutely no reason. I did think about putting them across the chests like this, but if I do that, then I can't open the chests, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to stick with just side details. And then, are we done here? I need to put some flowers in these, but I feel like this is just too plain. Okay, since we still want the space to be really easy to move around, I'm just gonna change up the floor and add a nice pattern so that way it looks a little bit less empty in the middle. But also, I'm not adding anything that's gonna be blocking our way to our chest. All right, I feel like that's looking a little better, but let me just take out these corner bits and add in this kind of wood. And then in the middle here, I have this weird little face piece of wood that I've decided to add. And I feel like that's already made it look loads better. I think I'm actually going to switch out these pots for some better ones too. And there we have it, a complete and very cute storage area. Now let's head to bed and then we can set off to get some more materials tomorrow. I spent a while scavenging in rivers for more ingredients for terracotta. Then I topped off my spruce wood. And lastly, I grabbed some more azalea bushes. All right, so I have this idea to make a crafting/enchanting area out of almost overturned garden pots. So that is what we're going to do today. Just kind of sorting out how it's going to work. Hopefully it looks like an upside down flower pot. If not, it will just be a funky little structure. Although to be honest, in my head, it should be really simple because it's basically like building like a hat, right? Like a wider brim and then it sort of tapers off to the top. Does that make any sense? I say it should be pretty easy, but I feel like I'm already a little bit confused. I feel like anytime I build with these sort of very flat blocks, I just really lose where I am with the blocks. I much prefer something with texture. Okay, yeah, this is looking very wrong at the moment, but I'm pretty sure it's right. So I'm just gonna fill in all of this gap here. And then I think I need to fill in this bit, and that should look now like a perfect circle. Okay, yeah, that is the easy part done. Now I need to build up the actual flower pot shape, and I feel like I'm gonna have a very fun time doing that. I think the first step of this is gonna be to make the rim of the pot a little bit taller, and then we can go from there. Then let's very strategically place these blocks one by one. That might be too tall. Let's just go with 4 for now. And then we'll go up here. Oh, this might be actually quite easy. I hope, I think, I don't know. I just feel like if that's right, and then we just do the same thing up and up and up until it all joins together, it should come together and look like a flower pot. Okay, yeah, I feel like I had absolutely nothing to worry about. This is super simple. Although I am saying that without stepping back to actually check what I've been building, so I could still step back and realize what I've built looks nothing like a flower pot, but I'm pretty confident it will. All right, here's our reference. Just pretend it's upside down. And here is, you know, it does look like an overturned flower pot, but not quite. So I think when we add some details, it'll definitely look a lot better. But that is one of our flower pots done. And then I'm going to do another one behind me over here tomorrow. And then we'll see what we can do to make it look more like a flower pot. So my notes for this part just kind of say structures here because I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing with these shapes, but if I can build a mushroom, I can build this. All right, that should be good for marking out the second structure. So let's join up these 2 pieces, or 4 pieces, I should say. And now we can go ahead and strip all of this spruce wood. And now I'm actually going to ignore the second structure for a second and just add a little lookout area to the top of this one. So let's surround this with some stairs. And then in this gap, we'll do slabs, I think. Actually, I feel like these need to sort of connect up to these corner bits. So maybe we'll do this instead. Kind of hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure that looks better. Now that's done, I'm just going to make my way around this whole thing and add a little bit of an extra platform, and then finish this off with some trapdoors and finally some fences. So now that's done, we can fill in this part, ready to build our second flower pot. And just like we did on the top level, let's surround this bit with some of these, what are they called again? Trapdoors. And you guessed it, some fences. And since we're now upside down flower pot experts, we should be able to get this done before the sun goes down. Okay, maybe not quite before the sun went down, but I still managed to get it done in the same day, so I think it counts. Okay, finally we are back to something I know pretty well, which is exterior details, but I don't want to add too much to this because I don't want to ruin the whole upside down flower pot look. So this is pretty much just going to be adding in a bunch of leaves about the place and then just a couple of entrance sort of details. I'm also going to add in a couple plant pots right here and add some of these and also do the same out the front of this one. Is that spider mad at me? Of course it is. Why would it not be? Oh, maybe it's not. Okay, I'll let you go. I think. I don't know. I don't trust it. I do have some ideas for out here, which is technically an exterior detail, but we're gonna get to work on the interiors first. But so far we are looking very cute. I don't know that it is giving overturned pot, but it is giving quirky little swamp structure. So let's get in here and add our lovely enchant area. So I'm thinking the best way to start the enchanting area is to place the enchanting table down and then build around it. Not sure why I used an axe to break wool, but I did it and we're going to ignore it. Okay, so we obviously just need the usual amount around it just for it to start doing the whole enchanting thing. But obviously this has got to look a little bit cuter than this. So what I'm going to do is basically build this thing up super, super high. So 3, 4, 5. Oh, I can't fit. 6, 7. Okay, yeah. I guess we'll just fill in this entire piece. And these 2 barrels would be where I put my lapis, if I had any, and whatever I enchant. So this obviously isn't looking too great, and we have all this extra space on the side. So I was thinking with these secret spruce doors, we can make it look like there is more bookcases than there really are. Then I think if we put a couple of real bookcases here and then sort of fill in the gaps with these palisades, it should look almost believable. Yeah. Okay, I feel like that works quite well actually. Now we have the task of adding in some trims and stuff up here to just cover up whatever is going on up here. So let's add these facing this way, and then we'll do these ones facing upwards, and then fill in the gap with this. And hopefully that looks pretty good. It might be cool to also add in some supports here. And then let's get down and just double check that that looks cute. Okay, yeah, that does definitely look a lot better. So let's add in some extra lighting. Do we maybe need one over here? Maybe we do. Oh, we should get rid of that. And then I feel like all we need to do now is get ourselves up here and add in a bunch of hanging planters at various lengths so it looks fun and fills in a lot of the empty space. All right, the ceiling is looking super cute, but the floor is not. So let me just fill it in with these different kind of wood blocks. Millie, if you could not get yourself trapped under there, that would be great. And I feel like that is our enchantment area complete. Very, very cute. Now, am I actually going to enchant anything? Probably not. And here is the completed interior for the crafting room. We have literally every single bench we could possibly ever need, a little chest, and all of these lovely flowers, and obviously some furnaces. Now all that's left to do is to come out here to our lovely lookout spot and add in a table and chairs. These couple candles. Very, very romantic, I feel like. I feel like I should have just done one chair because this makes it look like I've been stood up. Anyways, let's get back to the safety of our home, take a nap, and we'll see what we can do tomorrow. So I feel like I've done a lot of on-land stuff, and I really feel like I need to add a build that's in the water. So today we're going to do a cute little boat carrying some crops. I've built a few boats in my time in Minecraft, but honestly I find that the smaller ones are a little bit harder to get to look right because you can't really put as much detail in. So hopefully this looks like a boat when it's done. Let's join this up like that. I'm already struggling. Maybe do stairs like that and then stairs like this. Okay, yeah, I think that works. And then with the trapdoors, let's do maybe this level, and then we'll go up a level for this bit just to make it look a little bit more dimensional, maybe the word is. Are we looking boaty? Not quite yet, but I think when we add the sides, it will be absolutely fine. Oh, almost drowned. So let's bring the sides out a little more. I think that should be correct. And then we'll just go all the way along this line and then make this one higher. Okay, hopefully that's correct. And now let's do the same on the other side. Then we can add in a couple slabs here. Or should we go down one? Probably down one. And also add some slab details on the side just to make it a little less harsh the way it steps up here. So let's do one here and here. Then go for a little trap door here. Oh my goodness, guys. I feel like I'm losing my voice again. I've been doing too much karaoke, I've been telling you. Okay, I fear I may have done this one too long, potentially. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with it and then fix any mistakes afterwards. Okay, no, I feel like I've done a really good job there. It looks like a boat so far. The sun is about to go down. I could technically do a little bit more, but I'm gonna go and chill out in my house and then we'll do a little bit more tomorrow. All right, so let's finish off our boat today. I'm just gonna add in a little bit of a deck, I guess. And is that the sound of what I think it is? Oh my goodness, it is. Millie, have you made a new friend? I feel like she's always making friends with the things that can hurt me. I'm not sure what that means for our friendship. So I'm just gonna add a little roof to this bit here, and then we can add our crops inside. That is facing the wrong way. Surprise, surprise. So I'm just gonna go all the way along the edge with this dark oak, and then I'm gonna fill in the gaps with the spruce. For some reason, the slime being so nearby is really putting me on edge. I'm actually surprised this is the first time we're seeing a slime this entire time too. So the boat is looking pretty cute over there. I'm just gonna grab a bunch of wheat so that we can make some wheat blocks, and probably good timing too because I can also restore all of my food. Regretting doing all of these decorative pieces though, because it does make it a lot harder for me to what is this called when you collect crops? The word is just escaping my brain right now. Sorry, I think the word I was looking for was literally just farming, but for some reason my brain could not find it. Anyways, let's add our hay bales to the inside of this. I just love adding little details that I know technically don't matter because people aren't really going to see them. But it matters to me. Okay, that actually looks really adorable. I'm so happy with that. I added all of these little details just to make it a little bit more textured, and I feel like that's really made it come together. And the more I look at it, I feel like it would be driven by a little frog, but maybe that's just me. Oh, I just remembered I have a little plushie mod, so I'm actually just going to put this little tiny frog here as a little Easter egg, even though nobody's ever going to see that. Anyways, that's our boat done. The sun is going down, so let's head to bed. Making sure to replant my precious saplings, I topped off my dark oak. Then I gathered regular oak and leaves. I also gathered moss, diorite, and terracotta before heading back to home base. Okay, so I have this idea to kind of make a log restaurant, because in real life, swamp trees fall and become nursery logs where all sorts of stuff gets nutrition from. So I'm gonna kind of take that and make it into a little whimsical restaurant. I've also already built one of these fallen tree things as a bridge in a previous video, so I'm hoping this time it'll be at least a little bit easier. Probably still going to be a little bit finicky, but at least I'm not starting from scratch in my brain trying to figure it out. And hopefully with the practice I've had, this one will come together a bit quicker. It also helps to have already done the outline, but it's also a little bit counterintuitive because I do have to get rid of these blocks to replace them with the correct blocks. Maybe I should have built the outline with these logs in the first place, but then again, at the time I didn't have these logs, so couldn't do it even if I wanted to. So now that those blocks are changed, we can go in and start building up the edges. And I think the plan here is to just go along the sides like this, just one block out. So I'm gonna have to do this and then get rid of our extra block here and then go along like this. And we are done with the first step of this log thing. Only like 10 more to go. So for the next step, we're gonna come up here and do another row like this. But on these pieces, we're gonna go up 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. All right, so far so good. Now we basically just got to replicate this up here to just bring the log around and, you know, make it look like it's log shaped. The nice thing about doing the top part is it's definitely a lot more easy to see. Oh, wait, no, I'm just lying to myself. I was gonna say it's a lot easier to see which blocks I need to get rid of, but apparently I just proved myself wrong immediately. Oh gosh, that sun is going down fast and I really need to get this done before tomorrow. I guess it's not the end of the world to have to work through the night because we are building up high, so anything scary is very unlikely to get us. Unless obviously it's a skeleton, which is quite likely to get us, but I think we'll be okay. All right, that is the basic log shape done. Obviously it is super uniform right now, so we'll go back in and add some extra details. How is there light in here? Where is that coming from? Is it just reflecting off of here? I feel like that's quite unlikely. Ah! Why is it so scary over the other side, but not this side? Oh dear. I think that's probably a good indication to head to bed and not worry about the log too much right now. All right, my plan to make this thing a little bit less uniform and more fallen tree-like is to poke out a couple holes and then also replace a few of these blocks with some moss blocks and maybe some stairs and trapdoors for detail. Let me just take out a few more of these blocks here and then we'll kind of like decorate the hole with some moss blocks. Do you see the vision? I hope you do. See, that is already looking a lot better. Now I feel like we need a couple toadstools here and there just to really seal the deal. Now that the mushrooms are done, I think the final detail, as always, is some leaves all over this thing. So let me just run around and add a bunch of these and then we will go to the safety of our beds. I cut down some oak and spruce before heading underground for iron and then to the nether to get soul sand so I could craft soul torches and then eventually soul lanterns. I also grabbed some dirt, but that wasn't nearly as fun as the lanterns. And now it's time to make her a cutesy little restaurant on the inside. I feel like I've been using hanging pots in the interiors a lot this build. Like every day I wake up and go and sit down to record more for this vid and I forget how many hanging pots I've used and just add more and more. I am not going to stop though because they seem to be the finishing touch to every one of these builds. Although this time around I'm adding the flower pots first. I feel like that already looks so cute and it's only going to look cuter when we add some tables and chairs in here. I feel like we're not really going to have enough space to do like an actual restaurant vibe with like a bar and everything, but we can at least add a bunch of tables and maybe it'll have more of like a cafe vibe. I'm sort of opting for a mix of the oak and the spruce just because the spruce kind of blends in with the oak too much and so does the oak. So if we kind of mix them, maybe it'll look less blended in or just add more texture in general, I guess. I just finished adding in all of the chairs and tables and I've been looking at this corner the whole time like, what is that? And I've got a sneaking suspicion that it's Millie. Millie, why are you under there? What a weird dog. Why did I say dog? She's a fox. Sorry. I feel like it's pretty easy to forget she's a fox though, because she doesn't act very fox-like, that's for sure. Okay, I feel like that looks a little bit more restaurant-y, but I also think that we need some windows in here. So I'm thinking if we sort of go along and cut out some holes in the side, we can start to add in some windows and hopefully it'll look more like a restaurant room than just a big old log with some chairs and tables in it. I was going to do plain glass, but then I remembered I have stained glass. So obviously we're going to use stained glass instead because it just looks so much nicer. And luckily you can break stained glass without needing silk touch. So very, very blessed. All right, we're looking very, very cute so far, but I think what this needs is a few pots with some leaves in them. So that's what we're going to go for. Do we just do 2 or do we do 1 tall? I feel like 2 tall. This should just break up the sections a little bit more and make it look just a little bit better because it's really hard to get a restaurant vibe in this shape for sure. All right, that looks super duper cute and I feel like that's as restaurant-y as it's gonna get in here. So let's head to bed and I guess go out for more materials tomorrow. Oh, actually, just real quick, I feel like I didn't show off the outside enough. So look how cute this looks with all the little mushrooms on it. Love it. Okay, it's getting kind of hard to walk around over here, so we definitely need some paths. And to be honest, that was a lie. I just want to make some cute pathways between everything because at the moment it's just grass and I feel like the pathways pull everything together. And I know usually I do this right at the end, but I feel like doing it now, so I'm gonna do it now. And now that all of the path blocks are down, I'm going to do my usual thing where I just sort of run around and add random bits of fence along the side just to make it look a little bit more detailed. And now that the fences are done, we can go around and add in some leaves. So as I was finishing off the paths yesterday, I was thinking about how nice it would be to have like a direct dock type thing that goes right across the water because although this is just super easy to run through, there are a few obstacles. So let's get to work on a dock today. I feel like I'm definitely at risk of drowning whilst building this because I do have to keep going underwater to build all of these posts that are going to hold up our dock. This bit, not so bad, but as I get into the middle of the river here, probably gonna be a little bit scary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, well, if that keeps happening, then yes, I definitely am gonna drown whilst doing this. Oh, Millie, excuse me. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is actually easy enough. I think I was being dramatic. And then I actually think just to make it a little bit more visually interesting, we should go out this way a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, I wanted it to be 5 blocks between them, not... Oh, I've done 4, haven't I? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have done 4. Okay, I'm gonna have to, unfortunately, break all of these blocks, which does mean I probably am gonna drown, because this takes a lot longer than placing blocks. I need to breathe. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I've made this mistake, because this is actually gonna set me back quite a lot. All right, crisis averted. Let's fill in this dock. And now that the main part's filled in, we can go ahead and add in a bunch of campfires to detail the sides. Oh gosh, I hate these blocks that break when you break them, if you know what I mean. Like bookshelves and campfires are literally the worst because you have to just craft them every time you break them. Oh, I've placed that the wrong way. Wait, oh, I feel like it might look better if we do just place them the other way, like this. Oh no, okay, I fear that does look better, which means we do have to break all of these. And exactly what I was just complaining about is what I'm gonna have to endure right now. Although what I'm gonna do is place the ones that I already have, and then I'll go back and recraft the ones that I've had to break. Alright, campfires are all placed. It's obviously looking very dark, so let's use our soul lanterns to spruce this up a little bit. Alright, very cute and very effective. I thought something was behind me and I was correct. Oh my goodness. Probably my cue to head to bed. I topped off all of my wood and leaves, as always making sure to replant the saplings. I then gathered everything I needed for more soul lanterns, plus a little extra iron before heading back home. Alright, I feel like this is as good a time as any to place some proper lighting today because I've been avoiding placing any lighting at all actually along these paths other than on the docks. So yeah, time to add some nice lighting around this whole place so that the scary things stop following me. Oh my goodness. There we go. I will say I feel like soul lanterns give off less light, and I don't know if that's a fact, but they don't seem to illuminate the same way that normal lanterns do, but maybe that's just my perception of them because they glow blue and not yellowy orange. Lighting is technically such a small detail, but it always makes a huge difference, especially with shaders, like how it highlights the textures and whatnot and just brings the whole build to life. When in doubt, add a million lanterns and a million leaves and maybe some of those pillar trims that I'm really obsessed with at the moment. But for right now, we're just sticking with the lantern rule. And it's nice to use soul lanterns for a change. Although I will say the cool toned lighting kind of reminds me of how car parks used to have warm lighting and now they have weird bright LED lighting and it's not so cozy. Regardless, I do think the blue is really cute though, especially over the water. I spent the next few days building some custom trees to fill in the extra space and honestly also for good vibes. There's just something about adding trees in general that makes everything feel more alive and natural, like the build is actually part of the world instead of just sitting on top of it. And of course, I'm not ignoring the fact that this swamp is literally surrounded by trees, but I just mean adding the custom trees to match the scale of our builds helps a bunch from making our builds blend in with the biome a little better. As always, I focused on giving each tree its own shape and character, making some taller and some a bit more scraggly with branches reaching in all directions. Layering the leaves was definitely the most time-consuming part, but as always, it is the most rewarding part because when you step back and finally see a fully formed tree, it is very relieving, to say the least. Gosh, we are slowly but surely getting there. Not sure if I prefer this tree or this tree, to be honest. Anyways, I've got more trees to build, so let's get to it. I would usually say that leaves are the most annoying part of this, but honestly, building the branches is the hard part. Leaves takes a while, but this is just so difficult to figure out. And to be honest, I don't know why I spend so much time figuring all of this out, because for the most part, it all gets covered in leaves anyway. Okay, so I was watching Spirited Away again for the 1,000,000th time in my life, and the old witch's sister lives in a place called Swamp Bottom, which is hilarious. But also to get there, you go via magical trolley. So that is what we're going to be building today. Our last little addition, a magical trolley. So admittedly, this trolley is not going very far. This will be where the other post is, but the most important thing is that it's going to look cute. So just finishing off this little post here. Oh, I don't want to place that there. I want to place that like here. Okay, yeah, that's what I want to do. Oh, nope, that's not what I want to do. Okay, there we go. That's what we were looking for. So let's get down here, fill in this gap, and then do the other post. I feel like most people probably didn't even spot these little crosses on the floor, but if you were wondering what they were for all of this time, then this is exactly what they're for. Are they gonna be even? I feel like maybe I need to go up a few more blocks. Okay, actually, now I'm really looking at this and thinking that I've also got to add a trolley cart to this. I should probably make this a little bit taller, so let's get back up here and finish that off. Let's do 1, 2, 3... add in another little detail here so it doesn't look too long, if that makes sense. And then we'll go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, perhaps. And now we just take the L here and take a bunch of fall damage. You may be confused because this isn't an exact copy of the whole Spirited Away thing, but I've decided that I wanted to make it hanging from a trolley rail, so yeah, I feel like it adds to the whimsy, I think. Did I say I think enough? I don't think I did. Gosh, this is spinning me out for some reason. All right, now the chain is added. I think I'm safe to get rid of this little platform here. I do fear that I'm going to need it again to actually build the trolley cart thing, but for right now, just going to get rid of it, wait for the sun to go down, and go to bed. All right, I'm pretty confident we can get this thing finished today. So to mimic the little spinny things that the rails are usually on, can't think what they're called right now, but spinny things will suffice. Let's add in these. And now these are in. Oh my goodness, why was that so painful? We can break this down a little bit and start building the actual trolley. I think the move here is to just do a big old straight line across these and then work from there. I guess technically I could work from the bottom up and that probably would make this a lot easier, but I'm gonna make it a little bit more challenging for myself and do it this way. Okay, I've scrapped the idea of using slabs and I'm just gonna use stairs for this. So just gonna go along and add these like a normal house type roof. And then when I get to these points here, I'm gonna change it to the dark oak stairs. And it seems my voice is slowly going again. It's like if I talk up here, it's fine. But if I go any lower than this, my voice just starts to disappear. So strange how that happens. And I've just realized I've been placing that incorrectly. And now let's do the other side. Yippee! I really don't know why I've decided to do it this way. Oh, what am I doing? Getting carried away. That's what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. She says. Okay. That part's done. Now let's break down all of these ridiculous supports and build the rest of the trolley. Okay, I am so glad I decided to give in and just build this like a normal building from the bottom upwards, because this is a much nicer experience than trying to build upside down for some reason. I think to add a little bit of extra detail, I'm going to add in these spruce palisades on either side of this. Oh, maybe not there. Maybe just on these wider pieces. And then also in between here, let's add in some of these fences. All right, I'd say that's our little trolley rail cart thing finished. Looks super cute, but obviously not very functional. And here we are, almost the final day, which means it's time to plant a bunch of saplings and add little details here, there, and everywhere. As the sun filtered through swaying trees onto cool ponds and rivers, Millie and I walked through our cozy little area, and the familiar sense of satisfaction at a job well done flowed through me. My name is Em, this is Millie, and you have all been amazing. Make sure you subscribe so I can hang out with you in the next video. Bye!